as predicted, we had a Jags cover, Chiefs victory.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
We might have had a little help with Mahomes getting hurt, but either way, it happened. Yeah, and I mean, Chad Henne in the divisional round of the playoffs is pretty electric. I mean, he put us out, so
pretty uneventful game for the most part, though. I didn't feel like it was this close of a game. Like it never felt
super electric.
Never
23 yards.
The Jags really had a chance.
I mean, it did start to get close, and then they put Mahomes in, and he put together a touchdown drive on one leg, and then it was pretty much just holding on after that.
I did have Kelsey to score 2 touchdowns. That was fucking easiest bet of my life.
What were the odds on that?
I think like plus like 300, I think.
Did you guys all see my bad beat from that game?
Was it a 19 leg parlay and you lost 7 legs?
It was the basketball was 21 leg, okay? It was 21 legs. Hold on, no one can see my face. There we go. No, Jackson, man, you're unbelievable. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. It was Kelsey anytime touchdown. Kelsey more than 25 yards. Juju 25 plus. ETN 25 plus on the ground. McKinnon 25 plus. Trevor Lawrence 200 through the air. Kansas City money line. Patrick Mahomes needed 200 passing yards, and he threw 195. Jackson.
My God, who the hell cares?
He had one foot.
I literally said right before the game started Sunday.
5 yards.
I don't like these big same game parlays on football games because somebody gets hurt every game.
Dude, plus 539 is what that parlay was at. 5 yards. You can't get 200 yards. You have one leg. I don't give a shit.
You missed like 6 drives in the game, bro. I mean, what the fuck?
Look, he wanted to be out there and play. This is on Andy Reid, okay?
Chad Henne let a 9.
Andy Reid's looking for the future, though.
Which casino has the best cheeseburgers?
Stop it. Get some help.
What?
I don't know.
I mean, what do you want him to
do?
Whichever one has a red robin in it. Andy Reid's a red robin guy.
He's being paid off by the casinos.
I mean, whatever you fucking think, man. But you can't do the big parlay bets on football. Someone's always going to get hurt.
It wasn't big. They were locks. They were guarantees.
Yes, they are. Exactly. That's my fucking
big
point.
means number of legs, not the size of the yardage or whatever.
All right, moving on.
That game kind of stunk.
Yeah, we're done talking about it. Jesus Christ.
Well, another stinker fucking game.
This was so predictable though because they beat the shit out of them both times during the season, and the Giants, I don't know, like it just wasn't gonna happen for them, man.
Philly won like 20-16 the last week of the season against their third straight.
But that was
and we had our starters in.
That was Jalen's first week back. I mean, he was.
Yeah, I mean they told him to take it easy, and they pretty much told him to take it easy this week too.
Yeah, but I mean, at full strength, they're just a better team. The Giants, I think, for what their expectations were, had a great year. But...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They did have a great season. I will 100% give them that.
Yeah, I didn't think
now
they
I
were
don't
going
have
to
to
win a
hear all
playoff
the Giants
game.
fans talking shit on Twitter and Facebook saying, "Just watch out, Eagles, here we come."
Eli Manning.
Well, it's
watch
just
the shit out of the Vikings.
That's a New York. That's just any New York fan base is
yeah.
going to be cancerous. I mean, you can't avoid it.
If this game showed anything, it was how bad the fucking Vikings actually were.
This was also the 5-year anniversary of the Eagles beating the Vikings in the NFC Championship 38-7.
Yeah, you're not going to be happy about this next slide, but we had an anonymous email ask for this to be added in.
Yeah, I wonder who that anonymous email was from.
Well, he's accurate as fuck too.
I literally got. I thought I was getting a spam email because it said unknown sender. And it's Jackson Klein 18. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
I mean, fuck, we can run through it. I mean, it's what I've been saying all year. I just finally looked at it on paper and just realized how fucking right I was.
The Lions don't stink.
Lions stink. Worst
Hold
defense
on,
in the
hold
NFL.
No, they're
Vikings-
not.
The Lions do not stink.
They stink. They
No,
did stink.
They stunk at the beginning, and then they
have
turned
the-
into
they have
some
the
winners.
worst defense in the NFL. Lions stink. Vikings was a primetime game. Commanders were still starting Carson Wentz. Doesn't count. Jags.
I'm tired of the
stink.
Kirk Cousins primetime excuse.
If
you can't play fucking primetime, get your fucking ass out of the NFL. That is horse shit excuse.
I mean, Josh, why do you think he just lost in prime time? Yeah,
because he fucking sucks.
Exactly. That's why not a legitimate win. Cowboys was the Cooper Rush game.
Whoa.
Steelers game,
Jags
TJ Watt out.
stink. Jags stink. We're really putting them in Jags stink
Jag-
territory.
Yes, the Jags stink.
That's Jackson. Jackson was 0-2 betting against the Jags in the playoffs, so he's just mad at them.
They went on a run at the end of the season. Beginning of the year, they stink.
They were on a run at the beginning of the year too.
No, because we were on the wagon early, bro.
So
the
Jackson is saying
Jags
through the first 4 games that three of the first 4 teams made the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah.
No.
Still stink.
So
no, the Lions didn't make it. 2 out of 4.
the Lions
just
the Lions
okay.
and the Commanders barely missed.
Yeah.
So we're talking.
Should have had the Giants spot if they wouldn't have fucking started Carson Wentz.
Okay, so two teams that are in the playoffs that Jackson says stinks. 2 that just barely missed.
They stink.
Got it. Okay.
They stink. Playoff teams can stink. Next game, Steelers. TJ Watt was out on the Kenny second game. Texans was the fucking Texans.
That would have mattered.
Big fat.
He just brushes over the Steelers game.
Yeah.
Let's just not talk about that.
So Jackson, are you saying the Steelers are just as bad as the Lions and the Commanders?
At that point,
we're better than them.
End of the season, no, they would have absolutely dog walked either of those teams.
I mean, you guys played the Browns twice. I mean, that's
yes, they play the Browns twice every year. That's how the NFL is set up. You play your division team twice a year.
You basically played a tennis team. That's how bad the Browns are.
Why the fuck are we talking about the Browns? Okay, next game, we got fucking Fat L taking the Taylor Heineke. We got Colts fucking horrible. Packers were frauds. Titans were frauds. Giants were frauds. Bears were horrible. Finally played a real team L. Andy Dalton
with a backup quarterback.
Giants frauds.
So wait, Jackson, can I ask you something?
Hold on. Whoa,
no. Against real teams.
The Cowboys are a real team? Did you watch them?
Yes, they struggled. They're in their playoff game as we knew they would, but they're a good team the entire year.
They're not ass. They lost to the fucking hottest team in football, bro. But so how do you?
Our backup quarterback put up
missed
34 points against the Cowboys. So
Dak Prescott missed 4, 5, 6 weeks and led the league in interceptions.
He didn't lead the league. He was tied for 5th, I think.
He was tied for 1st.
Defense was elite.
Yeah, him and Derek Carr.
Yeah, he was tied. Wait, Jackson. So how do you say when they beat the Cowboys, the excuse is because the Cowboys were starting a backup, but then ignore that for when fucking Minshew started against the Cowboys later?
I didn't count that as one of
I can't hear it.
games.
Did he say something? I couldn't hear it.
I didn't count that as one of the only 2 legitimate games on here.
And there's
the only 2
the
legitimate
double
games
standard
on here were the Saints game and the first Commanders game.
And there's
the
triple
Saints
standard.
are a real team? What?
Yeah. Saints were tough at the end of the year. Saints were tough.
To watch.
Saints are a cold weather team.
I'm glad you're enjoying your off season with your
I'm just saying.
18th spot draft pick.
0-2 against real teams.
Okay.
There's a chance the 49ers might win the Eagles might win the Super Bowl and not have one legitimate win the entire fucking year.
That's fine.
Oh my god, dude.
That's fine.
If they win Sunday, not legitimate, backup quarterback,
Oh, okay.
third string quarterback, actually.
There's that
Okay.
narrative again.
What if they
There it
beat
is
the
again.
Bengals?
And you have been sucking
Bengals-
Brock Purdy's dick
the
all
Bengals
fucking
is the
year.
only option. The Bengals is the only option they could get a legitimate win for the rest of the
Okay.
year.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
If they beat the Chiefs, it's Mahomes' ankle. Like they legitimately might not have a real fucking win the entire year.
Oh,
This man's
moving
got an
on.
excuse for every goddamn fucking team.
I would love to do that with Pittsburgh's schedule, but we're not going to.
Is your excuse for if we beat the Bengals in the Super Bowl, is your excuse going to be Eli Apple?
If he's hurt,
Oh, okay. Yeah. It won't be AJ Brown making him eat dick.
we'll
Or
see.
Boogie
I think
Sanders running it down their throats.
as it stands, that's the only legitimate team that they could actually get a win against.
That's fine. We're 1-point favorites over both the Bengals and the Chiefs right now
what-
for the Super Bowl.
What was the Giants game then? Why were the Giants frauds in
Well,
the
they
playoffs?
stink. They
In the
stink.
playoffs.
They stink. You beat primetime Kirk Cousins. Everyone thought they were good. That was very, very.
They beat
very
him
wrong.
it wasn't a primetime game though when they beat him.
All NFL playoff games are primetime games. They're all the only game
No, it
being
wasn't.
played.
It wasn't. It
consider
was an
that-
afternoon game. It was a 4 o'clock game. 4 o'clock game is not prime time.
If you're the only NFL
There was a game
being
after that at
played-
8 o'clock. That's not a prime time game.
If you're the only NFL game being played at any time slot, you're prime time.
No.
Narrative has
No.
shifted again.
It's
No,
not
the
about
di-
the. It's not about
Shifts.
the time of
It just
day.
keeps
It's about
shifting.
Kirk-
It just shifts and
Cousins-
shifts and shifts.
Kirk Cousins can't play when he is the only team being watched at that time. When there's millions of people watching, he chokes every
Yeah,
time.
okay. All right.
You think he's fucking afraid of the dark? No, it's he
It
folds
must be.
under the pressure. Folds.
Don't fold under the pressure.
I mean,
You're
him
an NFL
and Tom
quarterback,
Brady are
shouldn't be
both,
folding under pressure.
afraid of the dark.
That's what I'm saying. That's why fucking it's not a legit win.
Okay, can we talk about how disrespectful the Bengals are? I mean,
Ow.
what a
Fucking
month they have
wild.
had against Buffalo. Who allowed them to wear literal camouflage to a snow game in Buffalo? And Buffalo's out there wearing the brightest blue leotards anyone's ever seen.
Those are the road uniforms. They should have wore the white helmets too.
I'm sure the reason they won is because they blended in with the fucking snow, Joe. I mean, are you serious, bro?
Ugh.
Did you see how windy it was on the field?
DeMar was there too. It was a
Yeah,
pretty
you could see.
heart-stopping loss.
It's
You
not
can't
hard to
see
miss the
wind, so
orange
no.
helmets, bro. I mean,
When you're standing there under lights at dark and that snow's whipping in front of you, you can't see shit.
Bills have white uniforms too.
do you like almost every game that there's been snow, the road team's probably wearing a white jersey?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they won.
The road teams win every snow game.
Wait, hold on. Let's okay. Wait, let's look this up.
There's no way.
No, because
The Saints beat the Browns.
Detroit went into Philly several years ago and got waxed. There was 2 feet of snow on the ground in that game.
All right. Anyways, this was the only bet I
What
missed.
about this year though? Is that still accurate?
I don't have the fucking forecast for every game that was played, dude. That's not something you can just pull out of your ass quickly.
All right, weather pledge, Joe. Come on, go find the weather on every game.
Ugh.
Oh, this fucking.
I
I'm gonna be
liked
so-
I liked the Bengals, but there was so much money on them that I decided to fade the public, and it's the only game I lost.
I'll be so fucking mad if I have to root for the fucking Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Wait,
Then don't.
you'd root against the Bengals?
You
Fuck
can't
yes.
root.
I hope
You
these
can't
motherfuckers
root for
lose by
AFC
50
North
fucking
teams.
points.
Yeah, you can't
You
root in
root for the
division.
Bengals. That's fuck that.
Especially when 3 of the 4 teams are literally the fucking Cleveland Browns.
The Browns and the Ravens, I wouldn't care even as much about, but fuck Cincinnati.
Really, the only likable person
Why
on
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati is Joe Burrow.
Do you not remember like 2012 to 2016? Those Steelers Bengals games?
Yeah, Vontae Burfict was a piece of shit, but
Montez Perfect, yeah. He was the
Oh.
whole fucking team was. Do you not remember them fucking throwing trash at Big Ben as he was getting carted off the field in the
okay,
playoff
no,
game?
I did forget that.
Wait,
It's not that I.
was that the origin of Big Ben walking boot?
Oh no, he had a bunch of them before that. He's had walking boot every year. But no, I thought it's not that I mean Joe Burrow, that's cool and everything. I cannot stand the thought of their fan base having any joy, so I have to root against them every single game. And I will forever.
So it's the
Do
problem
you
you have
know?
is with the fan base, not the actual team.
Yes.
Do you know
Okay.
who the last team to beat the Bengals was? Fun fact.
Brownies probably?
Yep. Yep. It was on Halloween. We beat the shit out of them on Monday Night Football. One of the few
Eli
wins
Apple.
I saw this year in person.
Eli Apple makes it easy to hate him too. That dude sucks.
Yeah, he's just a dick, and he's the
Yeah,
one that got cooked on the winning play of the Super Bowl last year.
If you look at his stats the last couple of weeks, he's been doing pretty well against their wide receiver ones.
And I like Joe Burrow is obviously good, and so is their receiving core and all that. But this year and last year, their defense fucking comes into the playoffs and just carries. Like it's ridiculous. They just
Diggs
come to life.
Diggs reminds me of Odell, as in when he's not getting the ball and shit's not going his way, he starts throwing fits on the sideline. He's fucking screaming at Josh Allen. He's doing the same shit against the Browns. He did it on Thanksgiving. I mean, he's just. I hate receivers that are like that.
Yeah, but no, I just fucking want Cincinnati to lose. I don't care, but to who? Just someone fucking beat them.
So Jackson's taking Chiefs money line.
Are the
Actually-
Bills? Are the Bills ever gonna fucking break through?
They've had the
Not
past 3 years without Tom Brady basically taking the first seed in the AFC East, and they just haven't capitalized in the playoffs on it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they've turned into the off-season champs every year, and
I think they've been preseason favorites the last 2 years.
yep. Oh well.
But you run into Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day.
They ran into Joe Burrow and they still got fucked.
Yeah. This one about as I predicted. Don't have Purdy do too much. Play good defense, and you'll win by more than 3.5.
It was right there for the Cowboys, and old Dak just shit the bucket.
Even their own Twitter was turning against Dak. It was fucking hilarious.
That was fucking bad, man. That was
Honestly,
bad.
this was the most electric game to watch. It was
Yeah,
so terrible.
Games were not,
but they were,
not
there were
great.
a lot of like really big plays.
I had a feeling after as good as the wild card games were that this weekend would have some duds.
George Kittle's fucking electric.
I didn't realize the Cowboys have made the playoffs 12 years in a row and have never made it to a conference championship game. That's fucking crazy. I just always assumed they had missed the playoffs a few years here and there. That's crazy, 12 years in a row.
I would still take. I think I would still take Kelsey over Kittle, but he's definitely second tight ends in the league.
I'm sure if Kittle was playing for the Chiefs, it wouldn't be any different. Kittle's
Maybe I don't know. Yeah,
Kittle's a fucking animal in the run game too. That dude blocks like a motherfucker.
yeah, he just seems like a nutcase.
I love watching that dude.
Here's the shakedown. Just a little update on our ATS competition. Still in first, Dak and Josh still hanging in there at 5-5. And then even the guys with 4 wins still have a chance if they win out and I were to lose out. But Jackson at 2-8. Tough scene there.
Tough.
What were the two you got
Absolutely.
right? The Dolphins and who else?
I got the Dolphins, and I
You get the
got
Bengals right last week?
Bengals. Only 2.
All right. New segment as requested by Brady Brooks. Hot takes of the week. What do we got?
Who's first?
Set the tone, Jackson.
I mean, my Eagle schedule I thought was a pretty good one, but let's see here. The one that I gave earlier in the week. Oh yeah. We'll go. Josh Allen is closer to the level of a Kirk Cousins than he is closer to the level of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. I think Josh Allen's a guy. I don't think he's great.
You're saying that he's not him?
Not him. I think he can
Does he
make
have-
some. I think he's literally. I think everyone always compares his play style to like young Big Ben. I think he's going to be Big Ben in the same sense that good, but you're not Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. You're always going to be that second tier. He shouldn't be talked about with
The Philip Rivers
yeah
of the
kinda.
AFC.
I don't think anybody should really be talked about with Mahomes because it's just stupid. But
Like at the beginning of the year, like I felt like the majority of people thought that Josh Allen was better than Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't. I mean, you know how hard it is to make the fucking what? It's 5 straight now, but the 4 straight AFC title games. I mean, that shit doesn't just accidentally happen. And then it's they lost Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill made Patrick Mahomes, and they're right back in the same fucking spot without him. So
I'm just not. I'm not a big Josh Allen guy. I don't see it. He's careless with the ball, turns it over too much. There's probably he's probably top 5, but he's right on the cusp in my book.
Who would you put in your top 5 then, besides Burrow and Mahomes? Then who'd be that third?
I would give me Herbert over him. Give me, as much as I hate to say it, probably give me Jalen Hurts over him.
I wouldn't take Herbert over him.
If I'm starting a franchise, probably give me Jalen Hurts over him, and probably there's a few good picks. He'd probably be 4 in my book, or 5. Yeah, it'd be 5.
I wouldn't take Herbert over him.
I love Justin Herbert.
Herbert never had the luxury of a very good defense like the Bills had early in the season when they had Von Miller when he was healthy.
It's never. You're never gonna have everything perfect. Got to make it work.
I know.
Never won a playoff game. Don't say he doesn't have weapons.
His weapons
I'm not saying
are
that either.
fucking hurt.
Huh?
He needs a couple weapons that can stay on the fucking field.
Well, they were all on the field for the fucking playoff game. Oh, Mike Williams wasn't.
Mike Williams is out.
Yeah.
Either way.
I mean, it's not like it's his fault that he couldn't score in the second half. They needed to be able to run the fucking ball.
All right. My hot take is nerds have ruined the NFL. And what I mean by that is these fucking analytic douchebags ruining fucking decision making. And this is mainly Browns focused. Because instead of fucking factoring in momentum, fucking like it's just like there's a lot of shit that analytics doesn't factor in, and people just do shit because that's what the numbers say to do. But
Is Stefanski a big analytics guy?
the whole fucking Browns organization has like an analytics push, and it's just so fucking like.
I know. Speaking of the Chargers, what's his name's a huge analytics guy, and that's why they do all the bullshit they do.
The Browns literally have the analyst from Moneyball.
Actually,
And Kevin Stefanski is trying to recreate the 2015 Minnesota Vikings with Adrian Peterson. Like,
wasn't that against the Browns? The Chargers did like the dumbest fucking like they literally tried to give the game away. I forget what happened.
Yeah, we ended up missing the game-winning field goal. I was there. It was fucking miserable.
I can't remember what the Chargers did, but it was
the Chargers went. They went for it with the lead under 2 minutes on their own 40. They went for it on fourth and gave us the ball back.
It's all that analytic bullshit that what's his name Staley's into.
Well, yeah, and then Kevin Stefanski, if we're within like the 35 and it's a fourth and short, he'll never take the points. Goes for it every time. We leave points on the board and we lose every game fucking close. I hate it. I hate just fucking punching numbers into a spreadsheet and say this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski lost the locker room before the season ever started. That defense was not playing for him. They were playing for a paycheck. They all knew it. They were just playing to. I think the entire Browns defense could have locked down every single game, but they just don't give a shit to play for Kevin Stefanski. He sits on the sideline in his offensive playbook and fucks everything up. He was out to get Baker Mayfield last year. Every play call was stupid.
I'm trying to think if that's the dumbest thing I heard today. It's probably up there.
Can't forget Vape Lord Mike McDaniel, part of those analytic idiots.
That was proven to be a Sharpie.
Dude, that was a fucking dab pen.
No, it wasn't, bro. If they turned the clip 2 seconds before, you could see him fucking holding the pen, bro.
Yeah,
it was right here. You've never chewed on a pen before, Joe?
Dude, all the time.
Exactly.
I've never seen somebody that just needs to hear euphemism more than Joe of coaches lose games, players win them. I mean, I've never heard Joe say like the Browns players, aren't good, played bad. It's fucking the coach needs to fucking hire a therapist for the kicker. That's why he missed. They don't want to play for the guy. Dude, the fucking players just aren't any good.
So would you say the same thing about the Steelers? Would you say the same thing about the Steelers? You put all the blame on? Are you putting all the blame on Tomlin, or are you putting the blame on
Tomlin's never had a fucking losing season, so why would you blame him?
I do put a lot.
Coaches don't win games.
Yeah,
coaches don't win games now.
It's both things, bro. Like you can't just say one or the other. Like,
it all needs to come together to pay out.
Kevin Stefanski was running a top 5 offense with Jacoby Brissett. He was doing it in the past with Baker Mayfield. You can't tell me that he's not a good play caller. I think he could get a lot better situationally, but I don't think. And he may be better just as an offensive coordinator because steering the ship as a head coach is a lot to do on top of calling the plays. But just calling him a bad play caller, I disagree with. Situationally, he's not great, but.
I mean, every down in football is a situation. So,
I mean, like you.
But here's the other thing. He doesn't have a playoff win.
Yes, he. I mean, he didn't. He wasn't fucking.
That was Alex Van Pelt. That was That was calling the entire offense. And you know what?
So who do you think put the
It was
game plan
Stefanski.
in? Who do you think put the game plan
hold
in
on.
during that week, Joe?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Stefanski can do the script, but he needs to let someone else call the rest of the offensive plays after that. He needs to be a fucking head coach. That's the only way to do it.
I mean, that's my biggest knock on Tomlin is he's always had bad coordinators. He doesn't know when to get. We're not getting rid of Matt Canada this year. We've had the worst.
I mean,
I'm
we
pissed about
finally
that.
I think the biggest hurdle was getting over Stefanski's friendship with fucking Joe Woods and finally cut ties after 3 seasons.
It's no question that players love to play for Mike Tomlin, but he holds on to bad coordinators for way too long.
My other one was that the college football playoffs expanding is gonna suck.
Elaborate. Why? Why do you think it's going to?
So think of the teams from non-Power 5 conferences that are going to get in. So they're expanding it to what, 12 teams?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're going to see games like Georgia and TCU. Like that's what the first round is going to be. That's what the majority of the second round is going to be, and it's going to not really get intense until the fucking Final Four, which is how it's set up now. It's gonna work for them because they're gonna make more money because they have more big nationally televised games, but I think it's gonna be a lot of shitty football. There's a big gap between the top 4, top 5 teams and the rest.
Yeah, football's
think-
not like basketball.
Yeah,
I think if they really want,
you can't
if
make
they
it
really
March
want to,
Madness.
if they really want to expand the playoffs in a more meaningful way, as opposed to making the overall college playoffs expanded, having like miniature playoffs within each conference, because that would create more. It would create more rivalries and be more in the same ballpark as far as skill level, as opposed to just having like the Big Ten, where it's the East champion and the West champion go and play. Do 4 teams, and then you have 2 extra games.
Well, I've always said for years now
That college
best thing-
football is boring.
it is boring. It does suck, but if college football would adopt something similar to European soccer, that would be electric. That would be the best thing for college football, to have one power division that you could, anywhere from
That dude,
maybe
I fucking love that.
even a 12-team division. The bottom teams each year get relegated down. Top
Yeah,
teams
there's
from the lower
relegation all
division
across.
gets promoted up. Like there's such.
That would like the talent gap would get even further than what it is now because everybody would just go to those fucking super schools then.
Yeah,
Akron would be a D3 school.
Yeah, unless they set an NIL cap forever,
That's what
unless they
I'm
literally put a
saying,
salary cap in.
With NIL money, you're going to see the talent get more widespread, I think. Not every kid's just going to be wanting to go to the school that gives them the best chance to get in the NFL.
I mean, and you're probably going to be able to buy your way into schools too.
Yeah, I can't believe there's no cap or anything to all this.
I mean, the MLB doesn't have a cap either, and you see how that's very polarizing.
Yeah, it's a fucking joke.
They will.
No, they won't.
No,
Minor
they
league
won't.
baseball's unionizing. They will.
They'll just get rid of MILB. Minor league isn't necessary anymore.
Neither is them having really dumb TV markets set from like 1847.
But no, college football could be incredible, but just the system sucks.
Yeah. I kind of I like the Final Four how it's set up right now, but I guess I'm one of few.
I
I
think
think if you lose 2 or 3 games, you shouldn't fucking be in the college football playoffs. Like,
I thought 6 teams would have been perfect.
yeah, because then you could do a couple first round buys and
Power
tw-
5, the Power 5 conference champions, and 1 at large.
yeah.
Even 8 would have been good, but 12's too many.
Yeah, but how fun would it be to watch like Akron go up against fucking Georgia?
Be fucking
How fun would
electric.
that?
We saw Akron play Tennessee this year, and they lost like 70-3, bro. Like it's really not that
It's
fun.
not that fun.
And
It's
we've
really
seen this
not that
matchup
fun,
before.
bro.
They played Ohio State last year and got fucking waxed too.
Hey,
Yeah,
we were,
I'm
Hey, the
not-
first
we were
hey, the
up-
first
I'm
quarter
not
of that game
talking
was good,
about
Josh.
watching the entertainment. I'm talking about gambling on the entertainment.
we were up 7-0 on Ohio State. Don't forget.
Yeah,
That is true.
You were.
Should
Dude,
have
That was
you
stopped
could
the
electric.
count.
literally have. You could.
I bet
you
if
could have
Jim
a race to
Undercover
70
Jr.
cents.
started that game, we would have won.
I was at that game going fucking crazy with my Akron LeBron jersey on.
I thought about going too.
I was
awesome.
there. I was in Ohio State shit though.
Oh, I remember that. That's
Raider.
bitch made. That's bitch made.
I need to go.
Bro,
when
I've
they
been
play
rooting for
Miami.
Ohio State football since they were like fucking since I was 4 years old, watching games with my grandpa who went there. So fuck you.
But how much money have you given to the development of that program? Because you've given a fuck ton of money to the development of the Akron Zips football program.
Yeah, it's gone down.
It's a
right down
failing
the drain,
product.
too.
It's a failing
grew up-
product.
I grew up 20 minutes away from their campus, and I married a graduate from Ohio State, and I could fucking care less about him.
Stinks. College football stinks.
All right. Anybody else got one before we move on?
Sure, I'll do one. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. With the second pick of the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State. I think Mac Jones, or not Mac Jones, I think Bryce Young is just going to turn into another Mac Jones. It's going to be another typical quarterback from Alabama. I think Stroud has better potential than Bryce Young does.
I think.
Yeah,
some
I
other
think
teams may
Stroud's a
trade for the
better
first round pick,
prospect.
though. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Stroud might have got it, worked his way up there with that last game, but
Especially when he started using his legs. I mean, that dude was able to scramble and make something happen.
He's
I mean,
got
that,
all
like they weren't designed runs, but I mean, I think if Houston could come up with some designed runs for him and get him feeling more comfortable with running the ball, I think he would be just fine at it. Like he could be Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields level if he starts running the ball some more.
Yeah, if he could remove some of his softness, put some muscle on.
I'm putting a Super Bowl future on
the
Texans next year.
Like, I mean, he is right now. He's kind of like what Jalen Hurts was when he was drafted. Didn't have very much arm strength. But
Jalen Hurts was always a running quarterback.
He was, but I mean, that's the only difference I really see between it. I mean, Hurts didn't have very good arm strength when he was drafted either, but now he's really improved in that aspect, and his run game has even gotten better. And I think Stroud could have the exact same potential.
Yeah.
I
mean, Jalen Hurts fucking squats 600 pounds. I mean, that dude's a fucking freak of
Squats
nature.
1,000.
Yeah,
It's insane.
There was a bet out there who will be better in 5 years, Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. Fucking give me Bryce Young every day of the week.
Who else was drafted in Justin Fields' class?
Trevor Lawrence, maybe.
Trevor Lawrence was. Zach Wilson was.
Mills. I think Mills was in there.
Who else?
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance at number 3, Justin Fields. Oh, sorry, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, and Davis Mills.
So, I mean, as of now, Trevor Lawrence has been the only one that's done anything.
I mean, Fields is on a shitty team, but he by himself is still has talent, and he's a good player.
Yep.
All right. Any more?
Yeah, I got a few.
Well, Joe just said he's putting a Super Bowl on the Texans, so that fucking should conclude that.
Yeah, Texans are going to be a very, very dangerous team next year. It's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch my entire city burn and fall into Lake Erie at the same time. So, yeah, that's going to be really, really fun.
I could see a long shot of them making the playoffs, maybe because the Titans and the Colts didn't wow anyone this year, but they're not. I wouldn't even say they'll win the AFC South.
No, they're going deep.
Might win 4 games if they're
Yeah, the over under is going to be probably 4.5 games.
But let's hear
they started to play real tough at the end of the year. That organization has all of the picks in the world for the next 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Can you name one person on Houston's defense?
Doesn't matter. Reload.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. I don't care what their name is.
Okay.
Are they big? Are they fat?
All right. What else you got, Joe?
So you guys have been, I'm sure, seeing all over TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, the whole Burger King commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Or
that
just on TV.
That would be the main place.
I think there's going to be something tied into the Super Bowl. Like if someone throws a really shitty interception or they just drop a ball and fumble it, they just do an immediate snap cut over to the Burger King commercial. And I think it would be the funniest thing if they just cut right back into the game broadcast and act like nothing happened.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Is that a hot take or one of your dark desires?
Both.
They
I
already
think
did a
one of
version
the-
of that with Patrick Starr flaming Dak Prescott for throwing an interception, and that was way better.
Jackson, did you see Steve Che singing it during the Bucs game?
Dude, they're brainwashing Stephen Shea.
He called off work for 3 days because he was so down about the Bucs getting beat.
They called him on the yak one of the days. Like, Steven, where are you? It's like,
he said
I'm working on myself right now.
He said it just felt like the end.
Dude,
he stayed home yesterday too.
Also, yak case race tomorrow. One of the funniest.
Oh my God, that is going to be great. And they have to eat cupcakes too. They have to eat 16 cupcakes.
You'll ever watch is a yak case race.
Shane Gillis is going to be on it too.
But yeah, Joe, that I don't know what to say about that. That literally has nothing to do with an opinion on football.
It's going to be during the biggest game of the year.
Therefore, I can't really. So you're essentially betting that there's going to be a Burger King commercial.
It's going to be disrespectful and it's going to be funny. Okay.
I don't know if you could package a commercial during.
I want surprise
an
Burger King
in-game
commercial
broadcast
parlayed with Gronk making the field goal. That's what I want.
Okay. All right.
FanDuel, if you're out there.
We're gonna move on.
Wait, no, I didn't get my.
Tim, you need to look at your phone. Tim, you need to look at your phone and show what I sent you.
So your hot take is there's going to be a commercial during the Super Bowl.
A Burger King commercial.
I can't, Joe. I'm sharing my screen. I can't get this on my screen right now.
Well, fucking figure it out, Tim. Email it to yourself. Open up the image.
That's too much work to do in the middle of it, bro.
Should have emailed it before, like me.
Yeah, we see this. These things are already done.
Oh my God.
All right. Most likely to go from last in their division.
I think DeBoer has one. I think he was screaming.
Oh, my bad.
I wasn't screaming. I just
go ahead.
wanted
to
have a more sensible hot take. The Ravens and Raiders will both finish at the bottom of their divisions divisions next year. Because I don't think Lamar's going to stay in Baltimore.
Lamar to Detroit.
That over Goff.
Miami.
Why wouldn't Detroit would probably put more draft capital into their defense, if anything.
Lamar
And then
to
I think the
Detroit.
Raiders will go in the full rebuild, and the Broncos will actually see some better life out of them just with the coaching change, or at least better than the Raiders without Derek Carr.
I can't argue with that at all.
And I think
the
Rodgers to the
Ravens, the Ravens they just find that like they're never horrendous. I can't see them coming in last in the
Yeah,
division.
no matter.
No, because I think the Ravens are going to do if I think
Even
Lamar's
without
going to leave.
Lamar, they were still winning though.
I think Lamar's going to leave. They're going to pick up some rookie quarterback in the draft. Maybe even I don't know if they'll trade up for a quarterback, but I think the Browns, Steelers, and Bengals will all have much better records than the Ravens. That's just my opinion.
There's a good
But
chance.
sorry, it doesn't involve a Burger King commercial.
But the AFC North is going to be tough next
I predict there will be a State Farm commercial during the Super Bowl.
All right, there we go. Worst to first. Which team
Hey, you
is
left
most
a team
likely to
off.
do it?
You
Who?
left off my pick, the Atlanta Falcons.
Were they let? Shit. How did I? Yeah, there's fucking 8 divisions, dickhead. What am I thinking?
My logic behind that is because they've finished 2 games behind first place.
Yeah, I like that one.
I guess yeah, that would be the
most logical one, and you left it off.
yeah. Well, maybe I thought if I left it off, we'd get more hot takes. Joe, who you got? Texans.
Yeah. I already said it once. Said it twice. Said it
He's saying
twice.
not just division winner, Super Bowl.
Also,
favorite.
I didn't get to this. Aaron Rodgers is either going to be going to the Jets or the Raiders, and it really may go full circle Brett Favre. But I think Aaron Rodgers becoming the Man in Black in Las Vegas would be a hell of a storyline.
He won't go there because there's too much competition in that division.
But it'd be fun to watch.
But it wouldn't make any sense.
Hey Tim, you remember when you said you hate numbers people?
He didn't say statistic. He just said it
didn't say
doesn't make any
statistics.
fucking logical sense.
It
They
becomes
got
a
Patrick
numbers
Mahomes and the Chiefs. They got Justin Herbert and the Chargers. And if the Broncos can get their shit together, at least mildly, that's 2 very good teams and 1 mediocre team that will cause problems the entire year for 6 of their games.
Here's my pick for this. You like Lee Corso?
We're waiting.
Are you a Broncos fan?
Are you a Bears fan?
Do you like Subway?
Are you a Browns fan? We can't read the hat. You're too far away from your screen.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
Cleveland.
It's just orange. All we see is orange.
That's awesome. That's building suspense.
You need Jesus Christ.
You see it now?
I mean,
This kid's fucking put a flashlight on top of your head.
Oh Jesus!
there's absolutely just zero.
Do you have a
zero
green
chance.
screen on right now? Why is it bright?
Yeah, there's a fucking phantom background.
0 chance, Browns. It ain't happening.
It has to, because if it doesn't, everything's gonna get blown up, and we're
The
back.
Texans are
back
going to
ground
beat
zero.
the shit out of the Browns. It's gonna be so fun to
Okay, no, Joe. No.
If the Texans were going to beat the Browns, their best chance was at home in Deshaun's first game back.
Dude,
AFC North's just too tough.
We split, so we didn't lose the division because of how we played against the North. We split with every single team. It's just how we played outside the division. So if we close games, I think they could do it.
Tim, that is the pussiest mindset I've ever heard.
Joe,
You
you
want to go
picked the
500
fucking
and 500
Texans,
in,
bro.
but 500 in the division. If you're the Browns, you have to win the division.
I'm saying you could go 500 in the division and still win the fucking division.
No, the Browns can't do that.
The Bengals went. They go under 500 in the division.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't fucking come down to just what you finished. Again, I mean, it's a factor, but there's fucking 11 games outside the division.
Did they sweep Baltimore?
I'm looking now.
I don't know, but they split with Pittsburgh and they
They
split
did.
with
No,
us.
no. They Bengals
split with
Bengals
Baltimore.
split all three.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
500 as well. Yeah, Bengals, Steelers, and did every team in the is that possible? Did every team in the AFC North split? I think
Very
every team.
possible.
I think every team in the AFC North finished with the same record.
So looking at these teams and add in the Falcons too, which team has the most capability talent wise of doing it?
Maybe the Bears.
I'd say the Jets if they get a quarterback. Brees Hall will be back. They got a good defense.
Yeah,
They get a quarterback.
it's a possibility with the Jets too. I mean, they were before. I mean, they imploded.
Yeah,
They were looking pretty hot.
they were in a playoff. They were in a playoff spot till they dropped the last 3 games.
Yeah. But then
I
it's
don't know.
like you got to kind of look at the rest of the division too, and it's like, do you think Buffalo is going to have a shit year next year? And then it's like the same argument that you could try to make for the Bears. It's like, do you think the Vikings are going to, have a complete turnaround and just play like ass the rest of the year?
Jets lost the last 6 games of the year, so.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
If they
I
get
don't
a
know.
quarterback, they have it.
I think the
Hell,
Browns having a new voice, and just a new person to fucking believe in defensively is going to be huge for them because our defense has been so pathetic for years now, and it just looks like they aren't even trying. Those play calls are mind blowing. I mean, we're playing fucking 10 yards off in the red zone. So yeah, I mean, Deshaun, full year, full off season. I think he could get back to top 10 quarterback play. Nick Chubb's a top 3 running back. Amari Cooper is a legit wide receiver 1. And Njoku's a legit tight end. Myles Garrett's a fucking animal. I mean, like I said, if it doesn't come together this year, it's going to get blown up. So it has to.
Another argument, I guess, with how history has been, could be made for the Commanders as well.
But yeah, the only thing with that is we don't know who their quarterback is.
Well, my point to that is like there hasn't been a repeat winner of the division in like 20 years.
I mean, like if it was Heineke, I'd put a Super Bowl future, but they don't want to commit to him.
The last time there was
it's not that they don't want to commit to him; it's that they don't want to pay that big salary to Carson Wentz and then pay Heineke all his big bonuses.
The last NFC East repeat winner was the Eagles from 2001 to 2004. It's been a different winner every season.
I don't know. It's tough because there's always
Joe,
one.
no, also, like, Joe, I'm pretty sure that the fucking revenue from making a playoff game, just the TV revenue, is going to cancel out the fucking $10,000 bonus check that you need to pay Taylor Heineke for throwing 20 touchdowns. Like, I'm sure that's
If
not
he
why they
starts 60% of snaps during a game, he got a $180,000 bonus for every game. That
like I
breaks your
said,
salary
bro,
cap.
it's bonuses aren't factored into the salary cap.
They are.
No, they're not, bro, because there's no fucking variant. It's fucking like the guarantee.
That's how the salary cap isn't actually real.
No, the salary cap's not real because you could fucking restructure any big contracts and just kick the can down the road.
Right.
Not because of it's because you could pay out a bonus and it doesn't go against your cap. Like the Browns are going to restructure Deshaun this year and they're going to pay him $40 million up front as a bonus, and it's not going to go against our cap number this year. So the bonus does not fucking count against the cap.
That's a signing bonus. They re-sign a contract and they give him a signing bonus. Starting 60% of the snaps is an incentive bonus.
Yeah, and why would that be factored into the cap if it's not going to happen?
Because do you know how contracts work
Yes.
in the NFL? When they structure those playing incentives in, that has to be included in your total cap number.
And then there's like whatever the guaranteed is.
Yeah. So the final numbers kind of actually determined like towards the end of the season.
Okay, but so you're saying the number, like the max that he's going to make, is already factored out against the cap?
It's factored both ways, the minimum and the maximum for all of the players.
Dude, like I just, it's at the fucking last couple weeks of the season, you're a billionaire tripping over $100,000 in a playoff push.
It's Dan Snyder.
Sell the team.
He's trying to.
I mean, he's not even in control. His wife is. But.
All right. Finally, Jesus. Get this week's preview. First game on Sunday is Niners-Eagles. According to Stevens, it's not prime time.
It's not.
Is that 3 p.m. Eastern?
It is.
Yes.
Not prime time.
It's prime time.
Sun's up.
Mm-hmm.
So are prime time games on the West Coast not prime time?
Nope.
No, they're not actually.
Why?
Because when it starts at 8 p.m. here, it's 5 p.m. over there, and they're just getting off of work.
Okay, but prime time is for national exposure.
Yeah, and it's
not just where the fucking home market is that determines what a prime time game is.
Okay, so the 49ers are playing this at noon in West Coast time. Yeah. Is that prime time for the West Coast? No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You think
it's not.
You think people are gonna be watching fucking Days of Our Lives instead of the football game because it's at 12 o'clock?
No, because that's only on Monday through Friday.
You're gonna have just as many fucking people watching the game, an NFL playoff game, then as it would be at night.
At noon, they're waking up from being absolutely shithoused the night before at 11. They're trying to scrounge up pennies to go get food from a Waffle House.
All right, can we just talk about the game? Can we just talk about the game?
I don't even know what to say.
Can we just talk about the game?
Yeah, 49ers are gonna fucking dog walk them.
I took the Niners too.
Give me the fucking Niners.
I have a future on the Niners.
And a big part of it was Stevens is still in the running, and I know he's going to take the Eagles, and I'd rather us have opposing bets.
Unless Eagle Stevens comes through with the fucking switcheroo.
I'm taking the Eagles on this one.
Go, Bar.
I do also have a 49ers future that really disappoints me to hear. Joe has one.
Jackson, I bet on all of the playoff teams. Every single one of them.
So you're not going to make any profit, is what you're saying.
That's not a future.
Absolutely not.
That's not a future if you bet on them in the playoffs. That's soft.
They were all plus numbers. I mean, what would really, really help would be a Niners. Niners have to win this game. I need it to happen for my wallet. Okay. In my heart, Eagles.
I thought you just said you bet on the
My
Eagles
wallet.
too.
Yeah, I did, but the payout isn't as high.
Pretty sure going into the playoffs, the Niners probably had better odds than the Eagles did.
Mm-mm.
Ooh.
Stevens, who do you got?
Might be worth checking, DeBoer.
No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care.
No one likes you. You're 2.5 point favorites,
no
bro.
one likes us. We don't care.
Those Eagles shit I've ever heard.
You said they're favorites in this game and favorites against both teams in the Super Bowl.
Vegas likes us.
Yeah, Vegas likes you guys.
49ers. Need it. Place to bet week 7. We cash this week.
I need a big game out of Maga Boza.
Need lining up against Lane Johnson.
Need it.
I don't know. This should be a good one. Both teams match up pretty well.
What was Johnson's injury? I know he foregoed surgery until the end of the season, but what was his injury?
It's an abdominal tear.
Gotcha. Wait, complete or partial?
Partial.
Okay.
Still needs surgery, but he's waiting until after the Super Bowl.
I trust.
Hey.
I trust Purdy. Purdy still has yet to lose a game.
It's pretty shitty. Let me tell you that.
Purdy undefeated, motherfucker.
I don't know. I think both teams are going to be forced to throw the ball.
I actually think this is going to be a really low-scoring game.
7, 8, 9, 10. The 49ers have won 10 straight games. Last loss was in October to Kansas City. Hottest team in football. Give me the Niners.
Means they're due for a loss.
I'm going off the rails on a Purdy train.
Either hot or you're due.
All right. Well, we all got our picks in.
Yep.
This line I think it opened with Kansas City favored, and then it shifted to Cincy favored, and it is now back to Kansas City favored.
Sounds like Mahomes has been a full go at practice. I don't know how you're full go after a high ankle sprain.
That's been the.
I think he's lying.
I don't.
They can't lie about an injury report.
Pretty sure that's illegal.
He's gonna be out there, absolutely numb to everything off of Toradol. He's gonna be doing typical Mahomes magic. Give me the Chiefs.
Bengals, baby.
Sadly, I am going to take the Bengals because I just fucking know that they're gonna fucking win.
The Chiefs, at some point, Mahomes has to beat Burrow.
I would love for it to happen. I want the Chiefs to win, but I just don't. I don't know.
I also think they're going to be very fired up that everybody's been calling it fucking Burrowhead all week.
I also didn't realize up until I think I was listening to what podcast earlier, but the Chiefs have the second most sacks in the NFL this year.
Behind?
The Eagles, I do think.
They had
We'll
70
see.
sacks this year.
We'll see if that Bengals makeshift offensive line looks as good against these guys as they did the injured Buffalo Bills.
Just,
They
just
might be-
a
They might
Chris
be able to
Jones is a lot of man to fucking block, bro.
I'm looking at FanDuel right now at correct score predictions, and to predict the correct score of 27-24 Bengals, like the last 2 years, is plus 5,000, and it's the lowest odds by a fucking mile of all the correct score combinations.
Say that score one more time. 27-24 Bengals.
Yeah, just like the last 2 years, last two matchups.
Wow.
Plus 5,000. Everything else is plus 9,000 or more.
We may have to throw $100 on that, guys.
There's
No,
the fucking 3 straight times two of the same teams are not going to have the same score.
I don't know.
I would bet on anything other than that.
I've got a parlay with the Bengals money line involved, so I'm hopefully I can keep up my streak of not being able to win an NFL bet and then get fucking beat.
Can you let me know what you pick so I can stay away from it?
Bengals money line. I think Kelsey over 50 yards and Chase over 50 yards plus like 150 or something like that.
All right, everybody. Fade Jackson.
I like the player props. I think those two should get 50 pretty easy, but
So I wanted
the
to
game's a
tide-
toss up.
Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes will finally beat Joe Burrow sometime next year,
It will
but
not
on Sunday.
It will not be a bet that I'm sad about losing if the Bengals do get
Me and
beat.
Stevens might end up tied, bro. We might end up tied going into the Super Bowl.
This Super Bowl is going to be my family against my wife's family.
Oh wait, and we need to address the fucking elephant in the room. I almost forgot. If the Eagles make the Super Bowl, Stevens can't watch the game.
Can't watch the first half.
I mean, that's fucking unreal.
Superfan Josh Stevens will be on a flight during the first half of the Super Bowl.
You are a gainfully employed individual. You can't get a different fucking flight.
Josh, why do you not have subscription cable? Like, the airplanes have Wi-Fi.
Allegiant does not.
Not every airplane.
Oh, why are you flying with Allegiant? Hop on Spirit.
Spirit?
Spirit doesn't fly one way from Dayton to Orlando.
Spirit you may also have a guy
in Dayton.
You may also have a guy that looks like Joe fucking as your pilot, bro.
Yeah.
You got a Spirit flight.
I mean, just the fucking fact that you would not be dedicated to your TV for at least 2 hours before the game to the time it's fucking over just baffles me.
You never know if you're ever going to see your team in the Super Bowl again. I mean, that's tough.
I mean, there's got to be a fucking way around.
Guys, be careful.
Josh, there's got to be a flight from Cincinnati that we can like help you out and drop you off at the airport.
Not flying from Cincinnati.
I'm not on the currently booked flight. Not from this flight. I'm saying we find a different flight.
Well, why don't you drive to Columbus and take a flight out of there?
Not understanding this logic. I live 10 minutes from the Dayton airport.
You watch the Super Bowl.
I understand that I would never get this. We'll never get to prove this. But if you told me I can fly back from Florida, but miss the Steelers in the Super Bowl, or drive by myself, pay for a rental car if that far, I'm fucking driving. I fucking promise you, I wouldn't fucking think twice about it.
It is only a 12-hour drive, right?
You drive that far to go watch the fucking Eagles. Why are you not fucking?
It is an 8-hour drive from here to
I
Philly.
am
It's a 16-hour drive from here to Daytona.
Oh shit! No, yeah.
Josh, when you're driving by yourself, it won't be that long.
I can't fucking fathom this.
I would skip a vacation if it meant I got to watch the Browns in the Super Bowl, bro. I would fucking skip a vacation.
Not. I was gonna say like childbirth, but like they have TVs in the room, so you really wouldn't miss it. What else would cause you to miss a Super Bowl?
I'm trying to think.
You guys are filling Stevens with murderous intent against all of us. So
Well,
let's calm it down.
That he knows we're fucking right. And
I just offered to be a great friend and drive you to the airport of your choice just after the game. I'm that much of a friend to you, Josh, that I would drive.
It is my return flight. So you gonna come down to Orlando and give me a ride back to Dayton?
Fuck it. I mean, hop in an Uber, go to Fort Lauderdale, and then fly Spirit to from Lauderdale to fucking Cleveland. I'll drive you back home. It'll be fine.
I'm flabbergasted. I'm fucking befuddled. I'm just in shock.
To be fair, he didn't have to tell us.
Want to charter me? I'll fly you down wherever
He
you want.
He didn't have to tell us.
I mean,
actually, I do know a couple of private pilots.
That was the whole reason why I brought this up. I've already got the flight changed. It's the following morning.
Yeah.
I was just fucking in absolute. I knew there was no fucking way.
Yeah, but Jackson, you know it's gonna be fucking hilarious when the Eagles don't make the Super Bowl and he's already changed the flight.
If that's the case, no. Listen, if that's the case, I can enjoy my vacation and not have to stress one bit about the goddamn game. That's 1,000-pound weight lifted off my shoulders.
Wait, did he book a loser's vacation? Is this what I'm hearing? You booked a loser's vacation?
No, I booked this vacation in June.
I would change the flight for the fucking wild card game. Fuck the Super Bowl.
We weren't in the wild card game, were we?
I'm just saying, like, you can't miss that. I knew you had to be bullshitting us. There's no way you would miss the fucking risk missing the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, like, maybe he's not who I thought he was.
Like, he is that guy.
Come on, I woke up hungover the next morning from Logan's wedding, drove my wife back home in Dayton 3 hours out of the way, and then drove to Philly. Come on now.
There was a good chance I was going to be in Philly Sunday if the fucking Cowboys could have won.
Why is that?
Sydney's dad and brother wanted to go to Philly for maybe not go to the game, but go tailgate, watch the game in Philly. They're huge Cowboys fans. But that ended in pure depression as usual. But yeah,
all right.
I will say Bengals. Philly is absolutely fucking electric.
Give me Bengals. Give me Niners.
Chiefs, Niners.
One of the best underdogs.
Chiefs, Niners, and everybody's money in tears.
Birds, Bengals. Also, fuck you, Tim. Fuck you, Jackson.
I'm donating all the winnings to charity instead, Tim. Go fuck yourself.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Jackson.
I do know that I'm hammered down today that I think everybody and their mother is on the Bengals and the Eagles.
That makes me feel better. Makes me feel better about mine.
Fade the public better. Niners, Chiefs, here we go. Although I did bet the Bengals also.
Public don't lie.
I wanna play.